Hello friends and learners. If you are interested to learn and study about assessment for learning, join this course. Why this course is important for learners? How does assessment support the development of self-awareness and responsibility in learners? In what ways can assessment practices improve learning outcomes? How does assessment promote critical and reflective thinking? How can assessment build motivation and confidence among students? In what ways does assessment foster lifelong learning skills? How does assessment encourage collaborative and social learning? How can assessment help in bridging learning gaps? How does assessment prepare learners for future challenges? Join this beautifully and well-designed course CPS 3 Assessment for Learning. I am Professor Digar Singh Parswan, Director, School of Education, Uttarakhand Open University, Haldwani, and course coordinator of this course. This course will enable learners to initiate and develop significant value for learners as it shifts the focus of assessment from being a tool for judgment to becoming a powerful strategy for enhancing learning. For learners, its significance lies in fostering self-awareness, improving academic achievement, nurturing critical and reflective thinking, and preparing them for lifelong learning. By engaging actively in the assessment for learning process, learners become confident, independent, and motivated individuals capable of navigating both academic and real life challenges. Objective of this course are to understand the concept of principles of assessment for learning, to differentiate between assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning, to promote effective feedback practices for enhancing a student's learning outcomes, to use assessment as a means to identify learning gaps and provide timely support, to encourage active student participation in self-assessment and peer assessment, to build teachers' capacity to use assessment data for reflective and evidence-based practices, to foster critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and problem solving through assessment practices. Outcomes of this course are: after the complete the course, learners will be able to explain the meaning, principles, and importance of assessment for learning in the teaching learning process, distinguish between assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning, develop appropriate assessment tools, rubrics, checklists, portfolios, peer self-assessment tasks to enhance student learning, demonstrate the ability to provide constructive, timely, and actionable feedback to improve learning outcomes, apply assessment for learning strategies that encourage students' self-regulation, motivation, and active participation in their learning, employ assessment for learning practices that foster reflective thinking, problem solving, and higher order thinking, incorporate assessment into daily teaching practices to make learning more meaningful and continuous. This course is divided in 4 blocks. Block 1, meaning, nature, and functions of assessment, assessment versus measurement versus evaluation, assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning. Block 2, formative, summative, and diagnostic assessment, continuous and comprehensive evaluation CCE, alternative assessment approaches, portfolio, project, self and peer assessment. Block 3, observational, anecdotal, records, checklists, oral and written assessment, assignments, quizzes, open-ended tests, ICT-based assessment tools, online quizzes, e-portfolios, gamified assessment, and block 4, role of feedback in learning, constructive feedback and feed forward, recording and reporting progress, report cards, progressive profiles, narratives, emerging trends, AI, ICT and inclusive assessment practices. Eligibility criteria is graduation level and post-graduation level. This course is useful for learners of graduation level, PG level, teachers education programs such as DLED, B.Ed and M.Ed level. This course is designed for anyone who wants to learn more about assessment for learning and its relation with teaching learning process. This course consists 4 credits, 12 modules of 12 hours, and this course designed according to 4 quadrants of MOOCs, video lecture, e-content, evaluation and discussion forum. Formative assessment of 30 marks will be based on MCQs after completion of course. Final exam will be conducted by NTA for 70 marks through proctored online mode. Certificates will be provided after successfully completion of exam conducted by NTA. Dear friends and learners, come and join this beautifully designed course, Assessment for Learning, to make your journey of learning more effective, interesting, knowledgeable and to maximize learning. Hope you will join this course. Thank you.